Yeah, I've spoken with. We've had some of your players now on, some former players on. Chatted with a couple of them pre year hire, post year hire, and kind of gotten some of their feedback. But yeah, as you know, people may not realize this because it doesn't get the notoriety that football does. But there were a lot of names in the portal when you were hired and just before you were hired because of the deadline, right? Like you have to be in by a certain time, and you can always pull your name out. But if you don't um,
Go in by May 1st, then
right.
you have no
Yeah.
you don't have
You
control of
sit
your
out of
life.
here. So
Yes.
you talked a little bit about that, but can you go a little deeper into actually recruiting um, the team that you literally already had on campus and talk a little bit about that, because
Yeah.
that's an awkward thing, right? Like there's recruiting to convince somebody to come, but to convince somebody to stay is definitely different.
100%. And so, like I said, we had, I believe, of the returning players on about May 5th or May 10th, we had nine. And then we had two incoming kids. So I think our total, you know, if we had to turn in a lineup that day, I think we had 11 players for the fall. And like you said, they all went in because they needed to take control of their life. And if May 1st, hit and they weren't in the portal, then they had no choice but to come back to Florida State. And a lot of people understand the circumstances around Mark's departure and kind of the unfortunate ugliness of that. And these kids, they read about it, right? Mark didn't. Mark is a mature guy, right? He didn't kind of go out in flames with the kids, but they read their stuff and the stuff that was printed in the media, and they were left confused, right? Because Mark didn't sit around and talk about his relationships within the department while he was here, so the kids were blindsided by it, right? And they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know who was going to be their coach. And so on May 25th, now they have a new coach, but they still don't know who that guy is, right? And that guy is me. Um, and I walked into the room when I met the team, and I walked in like you said earlier. Usually, kids are excited to see their new coach because they're really excited that their old coach is gone, and they've
Right.
celebrated that for the past 4 to 6 weeks. That wasn't the case. These kids were in a state of misery, right? And I walked in and I just said, "Hey, look, I understand you're not that excited to see me right now, and this has been a hard time, and I get that, and I just hope that over time we can develop a relationship and build a little bit of trust and be able to move forward together." And they grilled me in that meeting, right, about style of play and what are you all about and what's your culture about and are we going to do this, are we going to do that, and I liked it because they should have every right to do so. And I was comfortable with it. How I did, I don't know. I'd probably give myself maybe a C plus.
Well, most of them came back, so you
Well,
did
they did, they
okay.
did, they did, and that was the
You did
beginning.
okay. Maybe a B. We'll give you a B on this.
B, okay, B, cool. So then the next month we did a couple Zooms, and then phone calls, a lot of texting, but it was honestly it had to be really organic, right? And I
Yeah.
recruit this way. I don't put deadlines on kids. I don't like I don't I'm not like crazy aggressive and kind of forcing stuff out of kids. They needed time, right? They needed their own time, and all of them were different, right? All of them were different. There was one kid who she was the last one to decide to stay, and she probably decided around June 15th ish, June 10th or 15th, because honestly, she left here and she went home and she just turned all this off. She was so sad about it. She just didn't want to think about it, right? And I understand that. Didn't want to face this reality, and I get that, right? So it was just me checking in with them. Had a couple Zooms with some of the players, and they shared what they liked about Florida State soccer. They asked me questions about how I coach and what I'm all about. I met with some of the kids and some of their parents. We had Zooms with some of the kids and their parents, phone calls, conference calls, and them just trying to get to know me, right? And one dad was like very, very direct, and his daughter's coming back, and I'm really excited. But he was great, and I appreciate it. He just said to me, he's like, "Look, it's all cloudy down there right now. Like we don't know who's coming back on the team. We don't know who you are, right? My daughter's devastated. We don't know what to do. And all of that, 1000% true, right? And so how can you blame the guy, right? He's looking after his daughter, right? I get it. And that's exactly what I said to him. And so then over time, you just, hopefully they heal a little bit. Hopefully they start to believe in me a little bit. And then hopefully they came back. And like you said, we are now sitting at, we got 21 kids on our team. We will take it. We will take it. And the opposite side of the whole portal thing was I got here April 25th. So if we were going to try and pick anyone up, well, the portal closed 6 days later. So it's not like I could be searching in the last 2 months for in the portal for kids to pick up. Our hands were kind of tied in terms of players that we could add going into the fall. So in so many ways, just a tough deal, right? But we did pick up one player, a kid who went in the portal in March, and she was a kid I was talking to. Her name is Oni Ekajini, Oni Jennifer Ekajini. She goes by Joe. She's been with the Nigerian full national team. She's a really good player. She played for Mississippi State. We didn't like playing against her at Mississippi State. She can run with the ball. She's technical. She's good around goal. I think she's going to help us. We're excited about her.